Let's talk about it, people. Ubisoft and some things that are going on behind the scenes. If you guys don't know, I tend not to focus on anything that is not game related because I believe in enjoying yourself and forgetting about the rest. That's why we play video games, the escapism of it. But there are a lot of things going on, and social media has lit me up and basically put a fire under me to do my best to explain this for those who don't understand, and then also share my opinion within all that. What am I talking about? Well, Ubisoft has been going through some ups and downs, and they reached out, basically had some people invest. And we're going to talk about the investments and different things that you need to know right now. In the background, every once in a while, will be some footage of a build that I have on the channel for Assassin's Creed Shadows. It is called the Atomic Bomb. It's pretty fun and funny, interesting, very powerful. But let's talk about it. So, Tencent acquires 25% stock in Ubisoft, new game. And basically, Ubisoft basically announced that they're going to be creating a new system to get support financially and to grow in different ways with their business. And the main thing that you want to take away from this is that the new setup is focusing on Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Tom Clancy. Okay. And so super interesting to kind of like talk about this because it's not something I'm that interested in, to be real with you. I just want to play a video game. But this Chinese big time investment is $1.16 billion, which adds up to 25% of the stocks for this new system. And basically, they're able to keep control of Ubisoft while having these companies put in this type of money so that they can be more flexible with what they're doing and how they're going about it. So they're just going to be looking for new investors and keeping working from there. And this is something people thought like Ubisoft was selling their company and they're getting rid of everything. And that is not exactly true, but there are, some worries about like investors saying, you know what, we don't really want to invest in these other projects. We love the big name IPs, but we don't want to worry about these other ones. And I have something to say about that later. I'll talk about what my conversation and thoughts are, but let's continue on. Then you have the CEO basically expressing that it's a historical new chapter, and it's a step to change the operation model and making them more agile and ambitious is the goal. And so what does that mean for all of the games? Because all that matters to me is playing the games. I should never worry about this stuff, guys. And y'all got to stop hitting me up about it. Because I honestly prefer not to make videos about it. Because I don't want to think about it. I just want to get home, play a video game, have fun. The company's background noise is their problem. It's not my problem. But here we are covering it anyways. Because it is an important topic to kind of get into, in my opinion. So, as you can see right here, the CEO basically is trying to keep things flowing. We're not going to go too deep down the conversation, but basically they get bailed out and Assassin's Creed will continue, Far Cry and Rainbow Six Siege. Those are the biggest titles. And they're basically continue to make more franchises and grow from there. So we'll see how that functions. I talked a lot about Assassin's Creed on my channel since I started making content. I played through the whole series my second time, pretty much missing one or two games that I didn't fully play through, but we'll get into that. I'm interested to see how this unfolds. And then there's other details about what that means overall. And they said that they have a board team, including certain studios like Quebec and Sophia, so on, and they will still be in charge of the main games, and they want to keep control of that because that's, they're making billions of dollars off of type of things. So It's interesting. I'm curious about the sales and the situation, right? You have the Avatar game, Star Wars Outlaws didn't really do well. The Division Heartlands basically getting canceled. Um, Things like that. Other games that are first of all, the Division should never go nowhere. I'm about to be mad. I never care about this stuff, but I will get mad if you tell me the Division and Ghost Recon go out and they're not made no more because of whatever scenario. Or say what you want about certain games and certain things, but some of these franchises have been very special. We'll get into that right now. So that is kind of the core essence. So what happened here? Basically, Ubisoft has decided to get investors to have some stock and have control over some of their focus with their budget, and that will keep Ubisoft alive and let their studios continue to thrive. But it's possible that there will be layoffs and there'll be cancelizations, and let's focus on this more than that. And there's a lot of like uncertainty in the moment, you know. So I'm just very curious on how that all is going to work out. But I did want to touch on some things with this and give my opinions. I want you guys to share yours as well, and we'll get into it. First and foremost, Rainbow Six Siege is the greatest tactical shooter. I think that's common sense. Of course, you have like Counter-Strike and other tactical shooters that are good, but this game has been, and who would have thought Ubisoft could make a greatest of all time anything, right? Like, not to say that they're bad, but like the competition is thick in the shooter world, and they actually really did it. They really did it. And they have the new version, which I have downloaded. It's X part 2 basically of the Siege. So we'll see how that plays. And then of course the Assassin's Creed series. You guys probably are here because of this. This is my bread and butter of the Ubisoft series. I think I didn't really know about Ubisoft until Assassin's Creed became like my love after part 1. And absolutely definitely don't want this series to go nowhere. I made a video covering all the new projects that they have in development or in concept, and I'm excited about some of those. Some of them sound a little bit but overall it's cool to see that the series isn't dead. In my opinion, the way I think about series that I love, I don't want them to die out. Star Wars, you know, movies and TV shows, maybe not the greatest recent years, but they have been some good ones like Andor and stuff like that. And I think Assassin's Creed Shadows is a perfect example. You might have gotten something that you might not have liked as much in Valhalla or Odyssey or whatever game you in recent years you're like, I'm not that fan. Well, Shadows to me won me back over fully, like wow. And so I'm excited about what could be. And I have a whole different video that I made about my concept of what an Assassin's Creed game should be, which, you know, you can look into that. To be honest with you, this was a Game of the Year candidate and one of the best games of last year, Prince of Persia. And this is a big IP, in my opinion, that they never utilized. And they're making little games like this, which are Metrovania style, when if they made an open world with parkour as the main focus, kind of like Assassin's Creed-ish, but way better as far as parkour, just pure, you know, Prince of Persia style, where you're slowing down time and it's a big puzzle to get around. I think we're missing that in the industry. I don't think there's a lot of games that are huge that could be great. So that's how I feel. Those are some big ones. You know, Avatar might have not sold well, and it was an amazing experience if you're an Avatar fan and you like open world games. I dove into Pandora and was loving it. Personally, games like this, I didn't play much. For Honor, absolutely cool. I just don't know what they could do. It's still alive and people really like it. I wasn't that into it. I think it's great. Like, there's nothing wrong with it, but it doesn't have like the staying power. So I'm not sure what they would have to do, make a new story version where you go through a full campaign, and like that would be awesome. And I would play that. More, it feels more like just PvP, get in, get out. So now another series that's for me the best of the best in here, and I think it should be one of those biggest IPs, which it isn't considered that, but Ghost Recon. Ghost Recon fits my personal, like, if I'm like, what type of game do you like? Well, I like an open world, I like stealth, I like action, you know, I like the military type of invading bases. I can play stealthily or I can go guns blazing. This fits my cup of tea, you know, like for me, you know, these two games have been spectacular. I got thousands of hours on both of them, and it is a must-have for me personally. But that's just my take, and I'm not sure what they need to do to spice it up to take it to another level. And the reputation of Ubisoft, I think, is more the problem than anything. Meaning, oh, another copy and paste. That's the reputation, but it's not true, because when I play Ghost Recon, it doesn't feel like the Division, right? Division has no stealth. Division doesn't have any, you know, like, it's a different level. I mean, I don't want to go down and we're comparing games, but the point is this is an IP I don't want to die. Leave in the comments what IP you want to stay alive forever, and we'll get into it. And then some of these games I'm not that huge on. Not that I don't enjoy racing, for example. This is a fun one. Casually, I'm not a hardcore player. And then Skull and Bones, I know a lot of people love pirates and stuff, and I've just never been that deep into it, so I don't know what to say. Star Wars, it would be amazing if they worked on another game, because they probably learned a lot about their mistakes when they made this game, and now they adjusted and made some updates and the game's way better. But still I do want to talk about Far Cry. As somebody who cares less about the series, the first game I played was 6. And it was because Ubisoft said, hey, we got a anniversary, we can give you a copy and give you community 5 or 6 copies of the deluxe edition. And I said, hell yeah, like, my community's gonna love this. I'll try it out on stream. And I played it 5 hours, and I was like, this is actually pretty good. My community were convincing me, like, this is the best, man, you should play it. And then it was hardcore fans of the series, and I'm like, haven't got into the series, so maybe I'm a little bit Ubisoft brain dead, where people will act like Ubisoft is bad and not ignore their games. And that's, I know that people do that. I never do, but I did that with this series. So I can't even talk about Far Cry in a positive or negative way, other than the 5 hours of this game, which had a very amazing villain. And yeah. And then Beyond Good and Evil, I'm assuming, is canceled because they haven't talked about it at all. It's unfortunate. I don't know what's gonna happen. It looked cool, and I actually tried this game for the first time because I never really paid attention to the series until I saw part 2's trailers, and I'm like, wait a minute, this game looks fun. And last but not least, not last, but one of the main things for me is the Division. This has to stay. It's my favorite looter shooter of all time, and I play all of them. Division, Destiny, you know, I play them all, and I love a lot of them. There's nothing wrong with them, but this one just hits different for me, and I wouldn't want to see this go down the drain. I know that they're supposedly working on 3. They announced it already, and it's gonna be spectacular. Massive is working on it, and that means a lot to me. Massive have been pretty busy. You know, they've been doing, you know, Star Wars, the Avatar. I mean, like, they keep putting out games, and now they're focused on their bread and butter, which I believe is going to be spectacular when the time comes. But this is my personal take. I don't think everybody will agree. There's more Ubisoft games. These are the ones I have on my PlayStation 5, by the way. But I don't know what you guys feel or think about this. Personally, like I said, I'm very into what I'm into, and nobody has to agree or like the things I like. And I'm sure there's probably something in here they're like, oh, you don't play that? And that's fine. Leave it in the comments. But for me, keeping those series alive, Rainbow Six Siege, Tom Clancy, The Division, and Ghost Recon. You know, Prince of Persia, Assassin's Creed, of course. You know, those are the big ones, and the ones I want to stay forever. And how will this play out? We don't know. The community might be in control. So feel free to drop your comments on what you think is best and what you like, what you want, what series you want to keep alive, and how you want that to go. Appreciate y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed the update. I just wanted to kind of inform people of what's really going on. And it's stuff that I honestly, and I'm just going to be real before I end it, like I don't want to ever think about none of this stuff. Companies should be happy. They're making millions off of us gamers. We're spending, you know, thousands of hours in their game, buying their little DLCs and packs and all the nonsense that we do. And nobody should be thinking or talking about, oh, the investors did what? And they're going to lay people off. They're going to close out this IP. No, we shouldn't have that uncertainty. So for me, I just want more good games. Same thing with like any series that I love. I want them to continue. All right. Well, that's it, y'all. Take care. Hope y'all enjoyed this quick breakdown and my opinions after. Leave a comment on what you feel down below. See you there. Peace.